Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Are you all right?
Yes, sir.
Quite comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember I asked you to read the first 4 chapters of the book Better Spoken English? How many of you have read it? Anyone? It doesn't take long time. Please. It's hardly 30 pages of non-technical matter. Please try and read it before the end of this month. Okay? How many of you think you are going to read it? Please, just read through. And there are some exercises at the end of the book in each chapter, and you will find them very interesting. Actually, they are self-evaluation exercises. Okay, you can test yourself, compare your answers with the answers given at the end of the book. Have you noticed there are answers to each exercise given at the end of the book? Have you seen that? At least, okay. Have you seen that? Say yes or no, please. Yes, okay. There are, so you can check. This is a self-help kind of book. Anyway, we have come now to almost to the end of the first part of the course, which is presentations and public speaking, and particularly for us who make academic presentations, there can be occasions such as huge political meetings. You have 10,000 or 50,000 listeners, then you need other kinds of skills. But in academic professional presentations, some of these things are very, very important. Okay? And the last 2 points I have to make there is, increasingly these days all of us use tools like PowerPoint slides, okay, or sometimes recorder or record player to supplement the points we are making. But a lot of people, not one, not two, a huge number of people do not pay attention to these little things like how much, please write, how much matter can go in one slide, how many slides, how much, how many slides should we have in a talk for 10 minutes or in a talk for 1 minute. Okay? You cannot have 30 slides, 30, you cannot have 30 slides in a 1 minute presentation. All your time will be taken up in changing the slides, right? So these are common sense rules. How much can you put in one slide? How many slides can you have for one talk? How many lines? What should be the size of the letters and the numbers, the font size, as you say, or the colors, simply because computers give you a choice of all kinds of colors. Can you use any color with any other color? What is your opinion? Can you use any color with any other color or any other colors? No, obviously not. Okay? The guiding principle is, please write, the guiding principle is the following. How I can communicate. What is the word? Communicate. What is the word?
Communicate.
Once again, what's the word?
Communicate.
How I can communicate most effectively. What is the word? Effectively. How I can communicate most effectively. Okay? What will be easily taken by my listeners, by my viewers, my audience within the given time? What would give them comfort? What would help me support my presentation? That is the guiding principle. So, when you prepare for a public presentation, when you prepare for a talk, and if you use slides, keep some of these principles in mind. Is that all right? Do you understand? So, today in the next 45 minutes, I am going to talk about some of these principles, and I am going to show you examples, and I am going to ask you, do you think these are good slides, or for the given purpose, do you think these are not so good? Okay? And then I am going to ask you why you think these are good or these are not so good. Am I clear to you? Is that all right? Okay, relax. Sit with your back to the desk, back to the chair. I'm going to ask you some questions. And PowerPoint slides are very good medium, are wonderful medium when you want to communicate numerical data. Please write. I will copy these slides to you. Right. So, PowerPoint slides are a wonderful medium for communicating numbers. You can communicate them orally as well, but they can leave some listeners in doubt. Your pronunciation, either slow or rapid, may hamper that communication, but in visual medium that is not the problem. Similarly, names, a lot of us do not give enough time to our names. You heard that Ganesh Reddy tape and saw the difference, okay? That quite often we speak our names very rapidly, we do not give importance or enough importance to our own names. So, if you have, particularly if you have long names, say for example, this was one of my friends, a professor of physics, long name, his full name is Nakkati Venkata Subba Sucha Rao, okay, Subba Satya Rao. Now, by the time you come to the last part, the first part might be forgotten. Okay. A good medium is write it out, particularly when you are talking about people who are not well known to your audience, people from history, people from another country, okay, write their names down, or titles or positions. Say for example, I have written here the position of a friend, what position he occupies in the company. So, my friend NVSS Rao is the chairman cum managing director of the Kakinada Sugar Company, okay? Or the title of a book. What is Gandhi's autobiography called? Everybody please. What is Gandhi's autobiography called?
My experiments with truth.
Come with pauses, clear pronunciation. Once again, what is it called?
My experiments with the time.
Yeah, it's better. My experiments with truth. What is it?
My experiments with truth.
Give a pause, give a gap, a nanosecond pause between experiments and with. Prepositions begin another phrase. Prepositions begin another phrase. What is Gandhi's autobiography called?
My experiments with.
Yes, this is better. Last, once again, please.
My experiments with truth.
Yes, my experiments with truth. Okay, what is this book? This is Gandhi's autobiography. What is it? Once again, what is this book? So, titles are best written down. Okay, titles are best written down, rather than, if I told you about some obscure person, an obscure book. Recently, the biography of V.S. Naipaul has come. Now, V.S. Naipaul is a Nobel Prize winner in literature. He is from India and his biography is called The Way of the World. may be clear, you may forget it after a few minutes, but when you write these things down, your audience's comfort level is much higher. Do you agree? Okay. Similarly, when you want to use quotations, when you cite a line from a text, or when you want to cite somebody's utterance, okay, my friend said, oh, this is stupid, okay, and you are making a professional presentation, you want to use this one line for the sake of effect, for the sake of record, to enhance the comfort level of your listeners, you better write it down, you know. So, these things, numbers, names, titles, quotations, charts, graphs, okay. Can anyone tell me where this quotation comes from? Ano Bhadra Kratavo Yantu Pashyata. Which language? Sanskrit. And the translation is given and the source is given. Okay? There are, you know, some of the best literary works of India in these books called Upanishads. So, coming back to the point, PowerPoint slides are very good for some of these things, but they are not good for printing a page there and begin reading it. This was the best of times and this was the worst of times. Take a page from a novel and put it there and you begin reading it. That is not the best use of PowerPoint slides. It is like, you know, using a gun to kill a fly or using a stone to kill an elephant on the other hand. Okay? The match between the medium and the target may not be there. So, PowerPoint slides are not a good medium for a lot of, you know, running text such as pages from books. A lot of people just copy from, you know, internet, from Google, from any website, okay, huge amounts of matter, paste it there and then begin reading it here. They stand and begin reading here. PowerPoint slides are not good for presenting running text as pages from books, too much information as in railway train timetable. What are you talking about? Are you with me? Everybody please. You know, once again, all of these things relate to ordinary common sense. What will go well with what? Okay? So, PowerPoint slides are not very good for running texts, or you cannot put in too much information in one slide. Say for example, railway timetable. Can you tell me what kinds of information a railway timetable page gives you? Sorry, a page gives you on one page. What are the kinds of things you can find on a railway timetable? Think and tell me, one body. Number one, train number, then train name, then
Departure.
From to.
time, you know, from to, then names of all the stations the train will pass through, then
Departure.
Arrival departure times, then come on, rack you know, this is what you call brainstorming. Ask your brain, shake your brain. It also gives you the route map of the train on the top page. Okay, this is how. Okay, sometimes also railway timetables print commercial advertisement. All of these things are there on one page. But railway timetable is a book. You carry it with yourself on the train and you can look at it leisurely. If you copy, if you photocopy that, if you take it from the website, copy and paste it on one slide, then maybe if you focus with a laser torch, look at this particular station, the train reaches there at midnight. If you want to make that kind of point, then it is all right. Otherwise, even there your audience will be distracted. This is a natural tendency to look at things that are there before you. Do you remember I told you about the effect that visual medium has? Okay. So, if you put more matter, the audience would like to look at all of them, and that will be a distraction, irrelevant. Therefore, when you make a PowerPoint slide, ask yourself very clearly, how much can I put in one slide? Okay? Running, PowerPoint slides are not too good for too much information or a lot of verbal information. You can, just as you cannot print a railway timetable page on one slide, you cannot print a dictionary page on one slide, unless you want to show your audience this is how a dictionary looks like. Are you with me? What is the kinds of information a dictionary gives you? Come on, tell me. Words beginning with a particular
Letter.
Once again, everybody please. Dictionary gives you words beginning with a
Particular alphabet.
okay, repeat. Beginning with a particular letter, not particular, particular letter. Beginning with a particular letter, right? What else? What else does it give?
Pronunciation.
Pronunciation of these words. Next.
Meaning.
Meanings of these words. Next.
Usage of
Spelling of these words. Next.
usage.
Sorry. Origin of these words, not origin. What is it? Origin. What is it?
Origin.
Once again, what is it?
Origin.
Origin. Origin of these words. Next. Synonyms. Next.
Usage.
Yes, very importantly, it gives you grammatical information. What does it give you? Grammatical information. Okay, whether it's a noun or a verb. What other categories are possible?
Adjective.
Adjective
Pronoun.
or pronoun or
Adverb.
adverb or
Preposition.
preposition or conjunction or all kinds of grammatical information. And what else? It gives you lots of information. If you want to show, if you want to tell your audience this is how a dictionary looks like, then that's marvelous. Otherwise, that's not the best medium. Okay? Or once again, you will have to do something, use a circle, point to the, you see this word, testify. In Roman courts, the word testify had totally different meaning. Circle it, point to the etymology, the origin of the word. It comes from Latin, and this is what it meant then. Okay? Look up your dictionary and see what original meaning the word testify had. It is very interesting. The boys in particular must look up this word. Right? I will now give you some examples of what kinds of okay, they can help. PowerPoint slides can help. You can ask questions like how many lines can we have? There are no hard and fast rules. These things are not written down in the Constitution of India. Do you expect to find them in the Constitution of India, in the Criminal Procedure Code, in the rules of conduct in your hostel? No. Okay? They are common sense things. So, the first principle is don't have too much, let it not be cluttered. Write that word, cluttered. If you go to some rooms, I am sure in your hostel there are people whose rooms are cluttered, lots of things on their table, cup and pen and notebook and books, newspapers, towel on top of that. Okay. Sometimes I have gone to rooms where I have also seen socks on table. Yes, socks on table, that is cluttered, all kinds of things mindlessly in one place. But if you are organized, you have a place for everything and everything in its place. Okay. a place for books, a place for cups, a place for socks, a place for notebooks, a place for pen, paper, etc. Okay, a whole lot of things that is cluttered. So, you do not clutter your. The next is your PowerPoint slides will help if fonts are sufficiently large. If you are talking in a huge hall, your fonts must be 60, 70. If you are in a small room, maybe 40, but not less. Okay. Similarly, as few as possible. You know, the principle here is must, what I must communicate through this, not what I can. You can do a lot of things. Okay. So, you know what must be put through this medium. Then color contrast. I have seen all kinds of fantastic color contrast, you know, yellow on red. People like me just cannot see, and unfortunately you are going to have people like me judging your future. You prepare a project proposal, you submit it to the government, you submit it to funding agencies, and you have old tired professors like me sitting there with bad eyes, and they say, this guy cannot even make a good PowerPoint presentation. What kind of research he would do? Chuck him off. Okay. Good contrast, if at all you use more than one, you know, if you use several colors, keep that in mind. What color goes with what color? Okay. What will enhance the effect, not just aesthetic, but communicative effect. What will take your message most effortlessly to your listeners? That should be the guiding principle, not that, you know, the guiding as you have in fancy dress parties. Okay. You have dhoti and kurta, then tie, and you know, not that kind of thing. So, think of good color contrasts, and once again whether they can be easily read within the given time. If you are giving only 30 seconds for each slide, then have only so much matter as can be read in, last bench please. Are you in the class? As can be read in 30 seconds. As can be read in
30 seconds.
yes, that is English. You know, speak slowly with pauses. As can be read in 30 seconds. Okay. Don't put, you know, it's like it's common sense. You know, how much can you carry? In, you know, in Indian culture, why suitcases don't last long in India? A suitcase is designed to take 5 kilograms. You sit on it, and you know, you pack it with 10 kilograms. It's not closing. Then what you do is you and your friend both stand on top of it. The suitcase closes, but the clamp here snaps, goes away, right. That is what you will be doing. Okay. Each place, you remember, you are dealing with finite elements. You only have so much space, so much time, so much to say. Keep that in mind and you will make a great presentation no matter where. Do you agree? Say yes or no. Please, I do not see smiles on your faces. Look at some examples. Do you think it is a good job or not such a good job? Honest now, your opinion. Okay, use your notebook. Write, just write good, not so good, and why. I want some discussion. I want to hear you. I want camera to capture your faces. Please, my friends, kindly, you know, these students, you know, unlike others, take a shower in the morning, wear their best dresses. Please capture them on the camera, right. What do you think of it? Sorry, I am forgetting your name, ma? Aparna, right. Do you think it's good, not so good? Good. Ashwini? Okay, but as it is. Okay, why? Why do you think it is good? Yes, very relevant. Anybody else who has a different opinion? Okay, where? Yes.
Picture itself shows us two animals. So which one is dolly?
Is that not clear? The younger thing, you know, I mean, of course, the speaker will tell you this is the first clone. So, the mother is taller and the baby is, yeah, but yes, you have a point, or the speaker could take a pointer, you know, but it has only as much information as really required and a good photograph, rather than talking about dolly and leaving you to imagine, oh, a goat looks like a goat or a deer. Okay. Next, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? My friend on the last bench, what's your name?
Shailesh,
Shailesh, what do you think of it?
it's not looking good.
Sorry?
It's not looking good.
It does not look good.
It does not.
Okay, come again.
It does not look good.
Why?
So many lines are written.
So count how many lines are there, please. Okay, and how many letters in each line? Honestly, yes. A good cook, a good tailor, a good craftsman gives attention to absolutely little details as well as to huge things. Okay, imagine a shirt where button is not aligned. Okay. How many letters in each line? Okay. 20 or 25 letters in each line. You will need half an hour to read and tons of motivation to read this slide. The moment you see it, your mind will switch off. Okay? Not this, like hostel food. The moment you smell it, your appetite goes. Okay? Not that food is bad, but is not served in style like your mother does. Okay? Not a good slide. What do you think of this? REM. Does anyone know what is REM?
Rapid eye movement.
Okay, first read it. What is this? What is the heading on the slide? REM. What is it? REM. You know, this is how abbreviations go. Stress on the last letter. You are studying at IIT. Okay, where are you studying?
IIT.
What degree are you going to get at the end of your studies? BTech. Not BTech, but BTech. What are you going to get? BTech. So, similarly, this is REM, sleep. Rapid, complete the, can you expand the abbreviation? Anybody please? Rapid eye movement. Everybody please, what is it? Rapid eye movement. You know, that is in the initial stage of the sleep. So, somebody has taken a graph. Do you think has done a good job or not such a good job? Come on, everybody please. Okay, now from front benches here. Do you think it's a good job?
No, sir.
Why not?
So the text of the graph is very small and the graph is too long.
Graph is too long. Any other problem? Anybody else? Abbreviations are? Okay, maybe yes, possibly, but you can imagine that the speaker spoke about it. Okay. Any other problem? You see the fonts. Okay. Some of these things. See the difference in the size. So, not of the uniform size, not easily. How many of you are able to read that small print? Last benches. Are you able to read, Shailesh? No. Are you able to read, Aparna? Because you are so close to it. Sorry, what's your name, my friend? Karthik, are you able to read it? Are you able to read it? Keep all of these things in mind. You know, the only guiding principle is you are doing it all for the listeners, not for your private pleasure. You know it. You don't even have to look at it because you have designed it. But because you have designed it and you have designed it for the others, you must have these facts in mind. Would these things go easily? Otherwise, a good job, you know, presents a graph. This will be the best medium for presenting a graph, but the legends, the letters that have been written, the words that have been written have been just it's a you know what I called the pearl of East Coast job. You took somebody else's data wholesale without editing. Okay, you should have changed the font size. Look at the next, and remember all of these things were presented by, I have a collection, you know, I have more than 300 slides in my archives. Someday if you want a copy, come with your pen drive and I will give it to you. You can have endless pleasure at the mistakes of others. Okay. It is so difficult to laugh at yourself and so easy to laugh at others. So, you can have some fun. What do you think of this? Honestly, you know, I don't expect you to say good, I don't expect you to say bad, I expect you to make a critical judgment. Are you with me? What I am expecting of you? A critical judgment. Everybody please, and don't expect only 5 people to speak, and others can have the luxury of sleeping with eyes open. Okay? Some people here in the center, the next 2 benches behind the front, tell me what you think of them.
The font size and the graph.
Fonts are okay or not okay?
Okay.
Okay. The bar chart,
You can't read the dates.
sorry,
It
come
is
again.
difficult to read what is written on the graph.
Slowly, once again.
It is difficult to read
It is
what
difficult to read,
what is written on the graph.
right, because the fonts are small. And good point. Any other point that you would like to add? Sorry, what's your name?
Jenu sir.
Yeah. Any other point you would like to add?
Same sir. Yes sir, not.
Would you like to add something?
Sir, it is well structured, sir.
It is well structured, yes. Anything else? Anyone else in the class? They could be lined on. Okay. Yeah. It's a lot of information on one slide. You know, in the box you have bar chart. Bar charts themselves have at least 3 axes: the y axis, the x axis, and then the top and the bottom of each bar. But then the legends on the left hand side, on my left, on your left, on the viewer's left, you have other information about the economy and the figures. You must, if you use this kind of slide, then you must give your audience at least about 50 to 60 seconds and use a pointer to show that, you know, I am talking about parity with the in US dollars, okay, etc. Look at some others. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? This is what I mean by cluttered. Just, you know, whoever designed this slide was talking with his friend in the hostel, and you know, he just blocked something, copied it and pasted it something, and then he and his friend decided, now I am ready for Shirish Chaudhary's class tomorrow. All I have to do is to show it and get away with it. It's cluttered. Nobody will read it, no matter how much time. It will be so demotivating. Am I right? What is the word? Demotivating. You know, there can be attractive pictures and there can be unattractive pictures. This is not even unattractive, it is worse. What do you think of this flow chart, this tree diagram? Sorry, what's your name, my friend? Rajshekhar. Comment on it. Can you stand up? I want my friends to have your photograph.
It's not such a slide.
Sorry?
It is not such a good slide.
Why?
Too much of information and
No, slowly. Too much of information and
it's not very clear.
not very clear. Can anybody read what is written inside each blurb? Can you read it? Anybody please? At least I can't, but my eyes are bad and I am an old man, my eyesight is not too good. Can one of you read it? What is written there inside any of these boxes? Anybody please try?
Signal intelligence.
It does require some effort, right? Yes or no? Even on your part. And the guiding principle is most effectively, so that my audience is comfortable and I tell them what I want to tell them. Okay? So, cluttered, except perhaps the first heading, I can't read anything else. It talks something about electronic. What does it talk about? Electronic warfare. What does it talk about?
Electronic warfare.
Round your lips. Warfare. Okay. What do you think of this? Are these good slides? A good use of PowerPoint medium? See, if you feel like saying yes, then say yes. Why are there is, as I told you, there are no external benchmarks. It is your common sense. What does your common sense say?
Irrelevant. We can't see what the pictures have got to do with what is written.
That's because I have not given you the background. I have just taken it out of actually these slides come from a presentation which is presentations by chance, sorry, discoveries by chance. There is a big word for that. Do you know what is that called? Please write. The word is, and look up the meaning of this, look up the meaning of this word in the dictionary today. What is this? Serendipity. Stress this. What is this? Yes, serendipity. What is serendipity? Discovery by chance. I am looking for X, I find X, I also find Y. I may not find X, but I find Y. So that is called discovery by chance, serendipity. I go looking for X and I end up finding Y. Okay, anything. So history of science is full of serendipitous discoveries. Okay? And these two people, Arthur Kornberg, John Locke, who were they? Google them today and tell me tomorrow in the class who they were, and you will find something interesting about the history of science. Okay? So, photographs, some lines, some quotations. What is the quotation here? Can you read it aloud?
Life is what happens
when we plan
and something else.
Not too good. Come again, slowly with pauses. Again.
is what happens when we plan
Something else.
Yes, life is what happens when we plan something else. When we plan something else. Okay? What do you think of this? Not even worthy of our, so that kind of thing. No attention to font size, no attention to how much matter, no attention to a whole lot of things. Okay? Don't do that. Even ordinary food, even very ordinary food, served in a clean plate, properly arranged. Somebody asks you what's the difference between 5-star hotel and a dhaba, tea shop. What's the difference? They put the same amount of salt. The difference is in the ordinary restaurants, the used cup may not even have been washed properly, whereas in the other place it will be clean, presented with lot of love and affection, respect. It's just that kind of thing. Any efficient housewife will tell you, your mother will tell you, how even ordinary food can be presented well, but in this case that attention has not been given. What do you think of this? Good, not so good? Come on, say something. Okay, who said good? Aparna, you said good? Ashwini, you said good. Okay, why do you think it is good? Font size is proper and there is enough space, yes, and the information is easily transmitted. Those who said not so good, why do you say not so good? Please, you may have, you sure have justifications. Come on. Sorry?
Very less information.
Okay, limited information. Okay,
Again, we don't know what
slowly with pauses. Yeah,
we don't know what he is trying to say.
yeah. That's because once again I have taken it out of the context.
It doesn't even seem related.
This boy, once again a boy. This boy is talking about fashion industry. Okay, India's fashion industry. Okay, the point. Possibly the font could have been a little larger. Otherwise, I think it's nearly okay. No need for so many words. Now, some words can be cut down. There, what is the need for though not a great percent? These words are meant to be spoken, not meant to be written. Communicate as much or only as much as is must. This boy on the other hand has done a different kind of thing. He has said all that he wanted to say only through the slide. So, that those words could have been taken away. There is no need for though not a greater percent. Okay? Only this would have been enough. Fashion industry has much more to offer, or that entire thing can go away. You can only keep this. Fashion business brings $2 billion US. Which dollars? Singapore dollars. This boy had in mind US dollars. So, those that relevant sign or symbol could have been used, okay, in the textile market, etc. Right. Let us look at a few more and then we will stop. I think we are. What do you think of this? How GPS works? What is GPS? Global
Positioning
satellites. Okay, yeah, right. So, you know how do GPS satellites work? Somebody made a presentation on that. You know, once I asked my class to give me a presentation on some recent object of engineering of great use in communication. So, they presented, you know, somebody made a presentation on GPS. Okay. Now, what do you think of this? Okay, why?
The maps are so small and all the fonts in the map are not, we can't read them.
Yes, quite true. So, there is a lot of information and some of it is almost illegible. Though the legends on the left hand side, in the left column, they are okay. Tracking station, how it works? There are these 4 parts. There are tracking stations, the master control facility. What are the others? Master control station and then the satellite. This part is all right, but in the maps proper, had this presenter paid some attention to, okay, could he have done with only one map rather than have 2? What do you say? Are these 2 maps necessary or would one be enough?
One would be.
Perhaps one would do, perhaps I am not too sure, perhaps one would do, but no, you know, this is how you, this is the difference between a good presentation and not such a good presentation. A man made island as coming as the airport. What do you think of this? possibly it could be a little clearer, you know, the blur that over there, otherwise. Okay, look at some others, leave it. What do you think of this? This presenter talks about the longest man made suspension bridge. So, one of your senior, he talks about the longest, and he has only 3 slides, only about 110 seconds. What do you think of it? Good photograph, okay, but you can't get the engineering details, right. So, that way, in that sense, it is good for entertainment, but for communication perhaps not so good. Of course, it shows you the height, the difficulty of the terrain, okay, but engineering details do not come. For that, this guy would require another, this presenter would require another slide where he takes, you know, only a part of it. Is it a fan shape or pyramid shape? What do you make out from there? Why that? You know, those details possibly, but you know, once again it depends upon, but pay attention to all of these little things. What does my photograph intend to communicate? Aesthetics, then it is wonderful. Engineering details, then it is not. Am I clear to you? Yes, sir. Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Right? We will finish. Forget these things. What do you think of this? Once again, the same problem. Okay? I am going to stop here now, right? When you make your presentation on the first here, when you bring your slides, give your slides tomorrow, not tomorrow, when 30th, right? 30. Pay attention to all of these things. Okay? Thank you very much. Have a good day.